check out what's happened with our license. So welcome back to the continuation of the iRacing series, our play-along series that I'm doing here. And as you can see, something exciting's happened in the license department. We've progressed from our road license, and we're now moving out of rookies and into Class D. So how did we get out of rookies then? You can see on our results here, don't need to go into loads of detail, but we stuck to the Mazda, and you can see the first race, which unfortunately didn't record, where I qualified on pole and finished 4th with a couple of incidents I would have preferred to have avoided. And then the second race, which is the video that we've got on YouTube, you can see I started 3rd, finished 2nd, no incident points. And then there was another race, started 8th, finished 5th, so we moved to Summit Point away from Okayama International, and that was where I then was offered the license jump. I did another race, started 7th, finished 2nd, and that was it. I was then awarded the next license up, so I'm very pleased to have got that. So as you can see, it's quite exciting. The big question is, where do we go from here? What does that mean? Are we going to have to spend money to continue, or can we continue with the free content into something that is the sort of thing I want to be racing? So let's have a look at that. So here we are then. As you can see, I'm still filtering by road, and I've now filtered by Class D license rather than rookie. And let's see what we've got. So right now we've got a race starting very soon for the Skip Barber and the USF 2000. Both of those require purchases for us to go into that. But before we get too into all of that, I think what we should do is talk about trading paints, exactly what that is and what that means for you in iRacing. So as you can see here, Trading Paints, as it says itself, is the custom car painting platform for iRacing. I'm not going to get into the real nitty-gritty of the details, but it's a great third-party piece of software that runs in the background when you've got iRacing on. It allows you to run custom liveries, and it also allows you to see the custom liveries that the other people are running, and it can make for some really exciting livery choices and designs. For example, obviously this weekend we have the Golf liveried McLaren running at Monaco, and there's a huge number of Golf liveries available for all different cars. But you can see this can be used for the series, for fun, and also for, you know, some really iconic liveries like the BWT pink and white livery that you see on a lot of GT3 cars. And the spread is across all of the vehicles that you'll find in iRacing. There's pretty much, if you can think of a livery, someone's probably done it before. So it's fairly easy. Once I'm on their website, it's a case of creating an account, which I've just done. All it needs is your iRacing ID, which you can find on my account within iRacing, your email address, and then that's it. You go from there. Obviously standard terms of service that we're all used to, and then we're going to install Trading Paints. So I know that will have been sped up for you, but in reality that took a matter of seconds to install, and then we're immediately greeted with this pop-up box, which is when Trading Paints is running. So I'm going to set it to automatically start on system startup, because I'll always be using it, and the refresh paints is just whenever you join a new session, it just refreshes what you've got there, and that's it. It can be minimised, and that's it. It's running away in the background. It's as simple as that. So there you go. That's Trading Paints. I think you can see there's some massive benefits just in making the game look visually more appealing, more exciting, and running those custom liveries. It's definitely something I'm going to be having a look at in more detail on another date. But let's get back to what we're thinking about with cars and tracks going forward. So here we are then. We're in the current series table here, and we filtered by road and Class D, so we can have a look at everything that's there. Might not be a race happening right now, but we can have a look at what we've got. So you can see iRacing is pretty helpful. They've tell us with a little shopping trolley when a purchase is required, and a tick when we're eligible to join. So we can see straight off the bat there's quite a lot of options, including purchase ones, but we've got the Cooper tyres, the Skip Barber, the SimLab production car, BMW 12.0, Turn Racing Touring Car Challenge, the Ferrari GT3, Formula Renault, Spec Ford Racer, the GT3 Challenge, the Fanatec Global Challenge, and the Nürburgring Endurance Championship, although no upcoming races, it does say there for this one. So really what I want to do is have a look at a couple of these, decide whether or not it looks like the sort of series that I'd be interested in. But also, because I'm trying to do this at a reasonable cost, what I want to have a look at is see whether or not there's certain series that we could go into that also, if we purchase a car for that, makes us eligible for another series, for example. So I want to take a look at that too. So the first one that we're eligible straight off the bat here is the SimLab Production Car Challenge, Summit Point Raceway, which I think we have as standard with the game, and there's 4 cars. So let's have a quick look at this. So you can see the choice of cars here. We've got 3 of the available: Pontiac Solstice, the VW Jetta, and the MX-5. We don't have the Ford Mustang, which is another car which is eligible, which we can purchase. So clearly right now there's races that we can register for in Class D. It's going to cost us no money and we can race at Class D, and I think that's important to point out. I think it's probably worth pointing out here that I naturally tend to drift towards sports car racing. I don't know why, I just always have done, but I do enjoy open wheel as well, but I think you'll find I end up looking more towards sports car. I was hoping that there might be an option here for, say, get the Ferrari, compete in the Ferrari Challenge, but that was also eligible for other GT3 races, and that probably is the case as we progress, that there might be GT3 events that the Ferrari will be eligible for at Class C, say, that we don't have access to at the moment. So here's a good example of the sort of thing I'm looking at. I'm looking at Class C events at the moment. Obviously I don't have that license yet, but as an example we've got the Creventic Endurance Series or the VRS GT Endurance Series, and if we look at the cars for that, you can see here on the car list that the Ferrari 488 GT3 is as part of this event, as is the BMW M4 GT3. And if we have a look at the Creventic series, again, the BMW M4 GT3 and the GT4 is listed there, as well as the Ferrari. If we then go back and have a look at the D class that we're currently eligible, we've got the BMW GT4, which would need to purchase but would be eligible in other C class events. And we've also got the Ferrari GT3 Challenge, and we can see that the Ferrari would be eligible in other events. So it's not just a case of thinking, okay, well, I'm going to buy this car, I'm only going to use it in that one series, and then that's the end of it. There's definitely options as we go forward that we can use the car in other events, and that's a big deal to help keep costs down. So I think all things considered, we probably are going to end up looking at the Ferrari GT3, because I think I can use that in a lot of other events going forward. Unfortunately this week it's not only the Ferrari that I'll need to purchase, but it's also Watkins Glen International, again a track that's used by lots of other series, so I'm sure I'll use it again, but it's 2 purchases straight off the bat that I'll need to join this week for the Ferrari races. So there you are then, you can see our additional spend on top of the standard subscription for iRacing. I think it's important to point out that I have chosen to purchase the Ferrari and Watkins Glen. I could have gone down the different route of something like the SimLab Production Car Challenge, where I could easily have raced Class D this week without any purchase of car and certainly track. So it's not fair to say I've had to make these purchases, but clearly for what I want to do with the GT3 and sports car racing, I've had to spend that bit of money. So here we are then, clearly going to be diving into some Ferrari GT3 races fairly soon. I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into that, and that will be on one of the next videos, I'm very sure. And if it's not that, I am looking forward to taking a quick dive across the pond and getting stuck into some oval racings. Something I know nothing about, and I'm really looking forward to doing some racing that I've never done before and learning a lot as I go. So thanks very much for watching. If you did enjoy this, please do leave me a like, subscribe. Leave me a comment if you've got anything you wanted to mention on the video. I really appreciate it. Thanks very much.